Okay, hello everyone, and welcome back to World of Tanks. Here, going to be doing a garage review of this tank. And if you're thinking, hello, that shape looks familiar, that's because it is familiar. It is the Lorraine 40T, the French Tier 8, then moved to Tier 9, then removed altogether, then brought back into the game, Tier 8 medium tank. So, yeah, the reason that you'll have seen this tank before is because, well, it used to be in the game. Then they removed it, did an HD remodel on it, then sold it in the premium gift shop for a bit. And if you bought one of the packs when it first came out, you would have got the special camouflages, which is the Splinter camouflages for the Splinter Winter camo, which looks like this, the Splinter Woodland camo. Oh no, sorry, Splinter European camo, which is this camo for obviously the corresponding maps. And then you've got the Splinter Desert camo, which I think is the best looking of the three, just because I like the contrast of colours that they have in here. You've got black, white, and sort of this yellowy looking thing. But anyway, yeah, so you'll have got the special camos, plus of course the tank with 100% crew. Now, I think I'm safe in saying that this is my new favourite Tier 8 medium tank. Not that I have a lot of Tier 8 medium tanks. If we have a look at what I actually have here in terms of medium tanks, we've got the Panther 88, which I like because, well, it's a Panther. But, yeah, so there's that tank, which is a decent tank. Then you've got the Schwarzpanzer, which is just the Mutz, but in black. And meh, it's alright, I haven't played that many games in it. And you've got the M4A1 Revoluis, which is, of course, the M4 Sherman, but with the big 105mm gun, which got a buff. Better accuracy and aim time, which was nice. So, yeah, the aim time and accuracy is now not that bad at all. And then you've also got the 59 pattern, which I do like. It is a good medium tank. Flanking, putting shots into the sides and rears of enemy tanks. It's got great gun handling. But I think for me, the Lorraine takes it because, well, because of numerous reasons which we will see. However, one of them is not because of the survivability. And just to mention, this is the Wargaming 6-year anniversary of World of Tanks EU. And this is the nice looking hangar that they've got us. So it's of course got 6 years, it's got a band ready to play there, got all these different flags of Germany, you got Czechoslovakia, France, Canada, Brazil, the USA, you got Turkey, looks like you may have Mexico or something up there perhaps, you got France and Czechoslovakia up there again, Spain, Turkey again, you got Poland, there's Canada again, there's France, you got Spain, Germany, Poland, again possibly. What is it? I've forgotten. Oh, anyway, yeah. So got all these different flags about on all of these buildings, and it's all very nice. But this is the tank that we're going to be looking at, and I've rambled on far too far. But it's a Tier 8 French medium tank with 1300 HP, which is not a lot of HP. 59 Patterns got 1400, M4A1 Revaluis has got 1400, Panther 88's got 1500, and the Schwarpanzer has got 1300. So the armor, the hit points is very thin, as is the armor. 40 frontal hull, 45 frontal turret, 30 side and rear, and 20 rear turret, 25 rear hull. So anything which has got at least a reasonable sized gun can overmatch your armor, especially the side armor. Anything with a 90 or more millimeter gun will overmatch your armor completely, no matter whether or not you're side scraping. So, yeah, basically don't get shot because it'll go straight through. You can get lucky ricochets off the turret, but anywhere else, and nah, not really. However, this will not be uncommon knowledge to anyone who has played this tank before it was removed, in place of the Batchat 25T. AP, I think it is, isn't it? Yeah, Batchat 25T AP. So anyone that's played the Lorraine before that will know exactly what I'm talking about, which is that the armor is terrible and it's got low amount of HP, so the survivability is not great at all. The maneuverability, however, definitely makes up for it. 40-ton tank, obviously. Lorraine 40T stands for Lorraine 40 tons. Don't know whether it says up here. No, it doesn't. Could also stand for Lorraine 1940, but it doesn't. 40-ton tank, because that's what it weighs. With an 850 horsepower engine, which means that it has got great horsepower per ton ratio, 21.12 horsepower per ton ratio, compared to something like the 59 Patton, which has only got 14. 15 for the M4A1 Reval Luis, and then the Jagdtiger's got 9.96, but the Mutz has got 17, Panther 88's got 14, so it has a great power to weight ratio. It also has pretty good top speed and reverse speed, 60 kilometers per hour forwards, 23 reverse speed, which means that it's pretty nippy around the battlefield. Plus 36.97 degrees per second of traverse speed, and if I hover over it, it'll tell me exactly how much extra I'm getting from all my various skills and equipment, which is nice. Obviously, top speed doesn't matter, neither does that, nor the load limit. But yeah, so that's a neat little feature that they've added, which means that, and anyway, ignoring that, that makes this tank a very mobile tank on the battlefield. You can rush around, keep up with any sort of light tank, medium tank that you may want to go about with. It also means that you will not be sluggish going up hills. The concealment 16.22, which is better than that, better than the Ferdinand, better than the Mutz, better than the Panther 88, better than the M41. So yeah, it's got pretty good concealment compared to a light tank at least. 15 for the Jagdtiger, 5 for the KV-5, 8 for the Object, 11 for the Scorpion, 8, 6, 5. So yeah, it's got the most camo rating out of any of my tanks, which is a fair feat at tier 8 here. But yeah, so it's got pretty decent camo rating for what it is. So it's a pretty stealthy medium tank which can get places. 388 meters view range, which is alright. It's not the best, but compared to some of the other mediums here, it's pretty on par. Better than the Russians, because they're blind as bats. Not as good as the Scorpion, nor as good as my Jagdtiger. Better than the Ferdinand, and better than the Mutz. So yeah, view range, nothing to complain about. Then again, nothing to really stand out. 766 meters signal range, very good. This is a tier 10 radio with 750 meters signal range. So yeah, that's great. I got plus 16 there from improved vents. So yeah, that's all nice. So spotting is decent, but now we come to the firepower. And the gun is basically the same as the one that you get on the AMX Middle 49. Except for the fact that this is an autoloader, this isn't. This is a single shotgun, whereas that is an autoloader. And we'll take a look at them both side by side, shall we? So there we go. They're both 100mm SA-47 guns, except this has got the A denotation, probably to show that it's an autoloader. But as you can see, they're both 100mm guns. The gun on the Liberty has got actually a better rate of fire compared to the Lorraine, even though the Lorraine is an autoloader. The rate of fire base is pretty slow. As you can see, however, reloads each shell in the magazine in 2.5 seconds with a complete magazine load time of 36 seconds, which is why it gets a slower rate of fire, because, well, that's a pretty slow reload rate for a magazine. Average penetration is exactly the same, 232 and 263 for AP and APCR, 50 with high explosive. Same average damage, 300, 300, 400. The Liberty has actually got a better accuracy with 0.36 compared to 0.38. However, it's got worse aim time of 2.9 seconds compared to the 2.7 of the Lorraine 40T. So, yeah, equipped with a magazine loading system on vehicles Somya SM. The hell is that? I'm interested. But anyway, as you can see with my modified stats, it's actually got a 5.72 rate of fire with on the Lorraine, but that's still not as good as the 6.9 seconds rate of fire as is on the Liberty. Also, you can't mount a gun rammer, obviously. This is a magazine loading system, so yeah, there's that. The turret reverse speed, however, is very good. 38.4 degrees per second turret reverse. The gun depression isn't that bad either, -8 degrees, however the gun elevation isn't that great of only 15 due to the oscillating turret. But as you can see, the load time still isn't that great, 34.48 seconds to reload an entire magazine is not very good. However, with the improved vents and the gun lane drive, the aim time is only 2.3 seconds, which is not that bad. Once it gets down to it, I mean, the Liberty, even with a gun lane drive and improved ventilation, has got a 2.47 second aim time. So the aim time, once you've mounted these two equipment with your 100% crew, is not that bad at all. 2.3 seconds, that's pretty standard. I'm trying to find something to compare it to. There you go. 59 pattern doesn't have the aim time. It doesn't have improved vents or a gun lane drive, but it's still got a decent enough aim time. So the aim time, once you've augmented it, isn't that bad at all. And the accuracy, although not that great, is still not that bad. 0.36. It's not as good as the Liberty's 0.34, but it'll aim there quicker. The average damage, however, is pretty abysmal. 1,715 average damage due to the slow reloading magazine, because that will kill you in situations. So yeah, there's that. As for your repair kit, first aid kit, fire extinguisher, your standard consumables or whatever you prefer. As for the shells, carries 48 of them, which may not seem like a lot. However, considering the reload rate of this tank and the fact that it fires 4 shots a minute base, means that even if you were firing as soon as the magazine was reloaded, you'll still probably have some ammo left at the end of the battle, even if the battle lasted 15 minutes. So yeah, nothing to worry about there due to the slow rate of fire. However, it could do a projected damage of 1,200 average from one full magazine, which is a lot of damage, considering the fact that something like the IS-3A has only got 1,550 HP, or even the fact that the Schwarzpanzer or the Lorraine, I can't pronounce this, Schwarzpanzer. But anyway, considering the fact that both these tanks have got 1,300 HP, or even the fact that this tank has only got 1,100, which means that you could clip one of these tanks from full health to nothing with a single magazine, provided that you get average damage, or even perhaps slightly less on every damage roll. So that's an enormous amount of damage to pump out in 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 seconds. So yeah, in 10 seconds you could take a full health M41 down to nothing. So yeah, that's pretty interesting. That's pretty good. So yeah, there's that. As for equipment fit, you're going to want to have the gun lane drive and improved vents to get down the reload time and also the aim time. Those are the two most important things that you need to get down, and those two pieces of equipment will definitely help. Camo net may not be a bad idea, because the longer an autoloader survives, the more dangerous it becomes, as less tanks are left on full health in the closing stages of the battle, which is when autoloaders really come into their own for getting 1 or 2 shot kills with their autoloader. So camo net may not be a bad idea if you combine that with binos, perhaps. Wet Amarak if you keep getting your Amarak damaged. Enhanced suspension for you don't really need it for the load capacity, because this tank only weighs 40 tons even with 2 pieces of equipment, and it has a 43-ton load limit, so you don't really need enhanced suspension for the load capability. But suspension durability you may want it for, because, well, yeah. Well, because you don't want to get detract in this tank, because you'll get focused down and killed very quickly, because, well, A, you have an autoloader, so people don't really want you about to kill them, but then also because you don't have any armor, and you've got a low amount of HP, so people will focus you down if you get your suspension if you get detract, sorry. So you may want it for the suspension durability. Spore liner, no. Don't really need it. Well, I say don't really need it. It's useless on this tank due to the flimsy armor. High explosive can penetrate through your armor. So, yeah, there's that. So artillery will one-shot you before they get rebalanced. So, yeah, things will one-shot you. High explosive will do loads of damage to you, so don't even bother with the medium spore liner. Binos to get your view range up. If you combine it with Caminet, may not be a bad idea, but I still do think that enhanced gun lane drive and improved vents are more useful. Coated optics are in case you don't want binos. Tanks filled with CO2 if you keep getting set on fire. Repair kit's always useful. And then vertical stabilizer. You may want it if you're barreling around circling people, but circling really works best with single shot guns rather than autoloaders, because otherwise you're going to have to circle them for another 30 seconds before you reload your magazine to finish them off. So, yeah. Unless you're snapping shots, which probably not recommended due to the not that great accuracy, the sort of meh accuracy of this tank. So, yeah, may want to hold off the vertical stabilizers, but that's up to you. As for the crew, it's a crew of 3, which makes this not a great crew trainer, because people generally use these premium tanks as A, money gathering machines, but then also B, to train crews. Even though I don't, I just get them because I like the tank. But yeah. As for training crew, not a good idea, since as you can see, things are shared between crew members. So yeah, don't do that. But if you do get it for the crew, then you've got your commander, which also doubles the radio operator and a loader. And I'm training 6 cents because, well, you get spotted, you get killed very quickly. So yeah, training up that. For a loader, you've obviously got intuition, which if you're switching between AP and APCR may not be a bad idea, but then it's got very good penetration for a medium tank, something to note. It's got very good penetration, so you may not want to switch to AP and APCR, but this tank does not have preferential matchmaking. It will see tier 10s, so perhaps for killing off tier 10s you may want to carry around a couple of clips of them, but so yeah, intuition for if you're switching ammo types. Adrenaline rush is always useful if you're on low HP, which would be 10% of your hit points, which would be 130 HP or less. That would kick in. That may be useful. And safe stowage in case your ammo rack keeps getting damaged. So yeah. Relay, yeah, go ahead and stick that on. You've got very good radio range, so helping out your team with your radio, is going to be a nice thing to do. So yeah, do that. Don't really need signal boosting. Extend the signal range. You have a very good radio, so you don't need that. Call for Vengeance if you want, and then situational awareness to increase the view range. That's always something nice to have. Then you've got Eagle Eye, which combined with Deadeye is very nice. See which are the more damaged tanks, if you like, in terms of modules and crew. Jack of all trades, if you want, go ahead and put that on. Recon to increase the view range, it's always useful. And then Mentor, I don't see the point in. And then you've got your common skills. So that's for the commander, radio operator, loader. Now for the gunner loader, I'm training Deadeye because, well, an autoloader doing lots of module damage is going to wreck people very quickly. So, you know, Deadeye, always something useful anyway. Gone over the loader skills. Snapshot, your turret traverse is pretty quick, and unless you're going straight for a circle strafing medium, then maybe. But in terms of just generally snapping shots, not that great of an idea with the meh accuracy of this tank. Armor if you don't want to use a repair kit on your gun. Not that your gun's that accurate anyway, but at least it's better than the Russian guns. And then designate target, could do. Snap off that final autoloader shot if you have one. So I mean, yeah, there's always that. And then you've got your common skills. Then you've got just the driver, and I didn't want to do that. There we go. So I'm training him up in off-road driving because, well, you know, going to be useful in this tank. Clutch braking, you don't really need it, but you know, any more mobility is always useful. So you know, clutch braking straight away. But then I'd probably hold off on that for a couple more useful things. Preventive maintenance in case you keep getting set on fire. Smooth ride, probably best not to fire on the move because with a magazine which takes this long to reload, you probably don't want to be wasting one of your 4 precious shots firing on the move, so maybe not for that unless you're circle strafing, obviously. Then controlled impact, nope, you don't have the armor to do it. You have the speed but not the armor, so definitely don't ram things with your controlled impact. And then you've got common skills. So all in all, I think this is my new favourite medium tank. It's very capable, dangerous, especially in the later stages of the game. French medium tank. It's nice to see it in the game. I liked the Lorraine. I never actually owned it, which is why I got this. But yeah, so I never actually owned the tank, but I'd always liked the look of it. I thought it was always a nice tank, and now I can own it, and you can too. And yeah, it's just a very good medium tank. So I'll thank you for watching, and goodbye.